So the name is putting in the work. I've been there. I've done it. Take the time out of your day and just say, unfiltered advice. Take advice from your neighbors. Everything it takes to just fucking go at it. That's all I'm doing, and that's all you're doing. If that guy had sat on the sidelines, why are you telling us about it? I think you have more than a story to tell. I'm waiting for something to happen. And so, even before all this, even before I switched my Instagram up to be like super cool guy with the quotes, and even before I said I want to make a show, what was I writing a book about, Michael? You don't remember, do you? I was writing a book called Work. And it was about putting in the work. Before all this, I knew what I wanted to talk to the world about is how much fucking work life is. Like, I really believe life is work. And some people don't really equate it that way, so I try to come up with some synonyms to help, the reader with that. So one of the synonyms I came up with was effort. Like, think about it as effort. Like, you got to put a lot of effort in. But, like, everything is work. Like, some of the most successful billionaires on planet Earth, they have to be failing in their marriage or a friendship or something, right? Like, I would imagine no one's perfect. So it's just about putting in the work. Like, I want to talk about putting in the work in every aspect of the word. Like, in every aspect of your life, I mean. Like, I can do real good here at Bravo. We can have a killer night. All the customers are happy. But if I'm not putting in the work at home, you already know how that goes at home, right? If I'm not putting in the work with my relationships, like, yeah, you're low maintenance, or seemingly so. We can get along with just a few comments here and there back and forth. But because I put so much work in, you know what I mean? But the ones where you haven't, it gets really apparent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can see, like, almost on a spreadsheet, your relationships, where you've put in work and where you haven't, and the result. So, like, the show, I really want to be, like, sincerely about putting in work. Like, it's not about, being a millionaire. It's not about Gary Vee wanting to buy the jets. That's all cool. But, like, I just want to inspire someone that's, like, working any job, doing anything. Like, you got to put in work. Like, I want to talk to Priscilla, who had to turn in her car. She had to turn her car in to the loan company and forfeit it, and she can't get a loan for a really long time. You know what I mean? Or whatever, however that works. I don't know, right? And she's over here wanting to get her life back on track, and she's asking, can I go home early? You got to put in the work. And everyone has this vision that I am a workaholic. But everyone has this vision that I'm just trying to impose that on everyone. Like, you got to work 24/7. I'm just saying you have to take what you want or what you're complaining about, and then you have to put it against how much you're going to have to do. That's all I'm saying. And I hear a lot of people wanting, the life, but not wanting to put in the work. Look at Marcos and his beautiful fiance. Some people might think, it's just like they had chemistry, it worked out. But I feel like he probably put in some work. And I don't mean just like swooning her or like just buying her flowers, but I mean the whole package, you know what I mean? Like, I really feel like a lot of work got put in. Just myself, like, not even knowing them. Does that make sense? It's like, you got to put in the work. There's no shortcut around the work. Like, that's what I want the show to be about. So that's why I didn't want to start with the guest. I wanted to be like, this is a show. This is what the show's about. Every time we have someone on the show, you know what we're going to talk about. You know what we're going to ask them about. Like, let's hear a little bit about the work that you've had to do. Where you've been. Like, Joseph is going to be perfect. Joseph's been everywhere. He's traveled more than I have. He's worked his butt off harder than me. Maybe not harder than me, but he's worked pretty hard. And it's just all about keeping myself accountable and you guys accountable of, like, not everybody has to work 365, 24/7, but I will say, if you want blankety blank, you might have to for a little while. By a little while, I mean forever, And so that's all I'm saying is, like,
So it's a lot of testimony.
a lot of testimony of me, but just like let's just, Instagram, you have your filters, right? The different names, Reyes and Lo-Fi, and on life we have filters. And for this show, the filter we're gonna put over. I wish I had a D-Rock so we could edit, fucking filter. That'd be sweet. We're going to edit, or we're going to the way we see everything on this show is just through the filter of work. That's just what we're into. We're into work. So if we brought in a fucking 5-year-old, we'd be like, so what's school like? How much have you had to, like, we're gonna get that aspect.
Are you gonna be like I know like all of it's a lot of like you said so far has been like motivational quotes, whatever. But you're gonna have it to like say like for example like church, how we have the, we're doing the theme of baseball, first base, second base, third base. It's like, are you gonna give us like a plan? And it's like, well, it's nice to listen to that. It's like, but of course everyone's looking for something for them. So it's like, so why should I watch the next show so I can?
Okay.
Is there a plan? What are you planning?
So the show is to point to the things that are gonna have that, the ebook or the other thing. Mm-hmm. The show will point. I mean, there will be those moments, but I'm not gonna spend all 10, 20, 30 minutes of the show going over the 1 through 6 that we wrote out. I mean, did I show you that?
No.
For Raybach, it's on my lock screen.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
We won't spend, that's just, I don't think appropriate. I might make another video talking about that. Like, you got to create content, you got to, right? But like for the show, like I definitely think we need to keep it like just fun, fresh, talking about work, but like showing the serious side. But like that's why I wanted to have the wine, not another Gary fucking V like wannabe thing. Like I like wine, I've liked wine. I don't know everything about wine, and I wanted to have Justin wine here, but we just didn't have it. So we have this Healdsburg Ranches. Anyway, like I just wanted to keep it serious yet fun, and that's really what work is. Like even when I'm at work, you guys see me, and I believe that when you work your butt off, you get those. You can be afforded that. You know what I mean? Like if you're a baseline worker, there's no room to even look at your phone. You know what I mean? But when you've gotten where we get, like, the rule applies. Like, your manager's allowed to have their phones out. It's a different role. It's a overseeing, not so much of a hands. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's what. Like, I get what you're saying. Why tune in to the next show? It might be a little entertainment, to be honest. Like, I listen and watch Gary Vee partly for the entertainment value. Like, he's dropping bombs, but he's entertaining and he's fun. And I can't be the decider of if I'm entertaining or not. I have to let the world decide that. And the world might say I'm not entertaining. And everyone around me, no one's really telling me the truth, you know what I mean? It's not like you guys have told me I am or I'm not, so, you know what I mean? How could you blame me for thinking that might be one of the things that people tune into? Just like you might have a girl who's making a show and she'll be like, I just want to show people my beauty or whatever. And then you might be like, is that an integral part of your show? And you're like, yeah. She's like, yeah. And you're like, I'm going to be real. Like, I guess we never told you, but you're not beautiful. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not entertaining, if you don't think I'm entertaining, sincerely, tell me now. I don't want to go live. I mean, this is just footage. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm asking, like, content. Like you said, the content that you have, the content that you're offering. And it's like, that's what I wanted to know. It's like, what's the plan? Because I know it can't just be entertainment. Like, it's like you have a purpose, you have a goal. What you're doing, obviously, you're going to the world and you're not necessarily, but you're persuading someone to believe or see something. And that's what's your goal? What is it?
The ultimate goal is we could almost come up with a topic for each show. Like, I'm just making it up. Weekends, Tuesdays, wife, food, and how you have to put in the work in that or something. Or we could have like little mini things like ding, 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 the fucking quote of the day. And then it's a quote about working on it and I dissect it. Like, we could get comfortable with that as far as format. But what I wanted to do tonight was simply do that. Because, fucking again, listening to Gary Vee, watching Gary Vee, he's talking to some chick, and he's like, how are you communicating with the world right now? She goes, I have my Instagram page, and I'm going good with that. He's like, oh, cool. And she's like, and I'm going to be starting my YouTube video here pretty soon. He's like, wait, that's the part we need to address right there. Gonna start. It sounds like you need to just do. Everyone's waiting for what kind of tripod do I have? What kind of filters do I have? Like, that's why I said I'm just going to do. But, I mean, I say it in my own story. I know you don't watch it, you just click through it. But I say, like, you have to get out there and do. But if you're like me, especially if you care, like, there has to be a certain finesse to it. It has to be smooth and where you can control. I'm not just going to go not care about anything and be like, oh, I'm doing it. Like, this is for viewers. Like, people are watching this. You know what I mean? So it's got to have some smoothness even when you're first starting out. You know what I mean? So, honestly, having heard everything I just said, what would you want to hear me talk about for 10 minutes? Anything. If you told me to talk about cucumbers, I'll do what I can. Like, sincerely. If it's not my testimony, like, and you're gonna be my harshest critic and my you know, my best review writer. So I'm kind of looking at you because you never tell me shit. You say, oh yeah, it's fucking good.
Well, if it's your first show, then I would act like it was the first time ever that you're on, and it's pretty much your testimonies now. Because I'm a viewer, I'm like, well, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Just like I'm asking, like, what's going on? What is this? And why would I ever watch it again? And it's just like what I have in my college class right now. We're doing an autobiography of our artist, of our art, and it's the same thing. And they talk about your paragraph, and then they talk about the importance of your first sentence. It's the hook to keep reading to the next sentence. So what is your hook? It's like, what's going to hook everyone to keep listening? You know, people want to hear. People, obviously, you have people following you that like what you're saying, so they agree with you, and they want. So now they need to hear your story, and the ones that don't agree, then they're the ones that you weren't trying to reach anyway. But your story needs to be told, so we know exactly what it is. And like I said, you don't need to mention every single one. This is the first one, so it needs to be said and done. This is your autobiography, technically, of starting not when you were born, but now.
Yeah, we can just
How you got
reference
here.
this, like, go watch episode 1.
Yeah. But yeah, you need to have a hook of why would we ever watch this again? You know, they'd be like, I already watched that live feed or whatever. There's really talking about nothing. It's like, so it has to be powerful. It has to be true and honest, not trying to persuade them in any such way. Just honest of what you're doing with your life.
Okay, then let me ask you this. You having been there for like 90% of it, and be honest, is it worth telling? Is it worth saying?
Of course, because
No, not in a everybody's story is worth telling kind of way.
no, it's not. It's because of where you came from and where you're at, and just how you were able to do that. Because you're always saying in your videos, you know, I made it or I done this or whatever. And it's like you have in this sense of change, you know, and people are looking for change. People want, like we were talking about before, they want to know how. They want to know how to get out of the hole they're in. But yeah, you have a story of that. You have a story of how you got out, you know, as a person of change as a person, totally, completely 180. Of thinking of a certain way, like perfect example, you know, how Randall Murdoch can talk about Johnny and how he's the same, nothing has changed, you know, like John Bonion said.
Nothing has
You look
changed.
good on TV, Kendel.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's exactly, everyone wants to hear that. Everyone loves to hear, you know, that, you know, where you're a piece of shit and then turn around and then, because right now, you know, as bad as it sounds, everyone feels that way. Like, I'm not where I want to be in my life, you know, although they might not say it out loud, but when they hear someone talking about it, they're like, yeah, you know, that is true. And then that's why so much people like what you're talking about, because they connect and they want to change. And yeah, that's why I was asking, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to change them to do? Their beliefs, and to just work harder, or what? Help them get out? It's like, how are you gonna do that?
Okay.
Because like I said, on the internet, there's a million ways they can find it. Now, what are you so different? They need to hear your testimony.
What's my niche?
Yeah.
Okay. This is my niche. I'm not going to help you be a millionaire because I'm not one. I'm not going to tell you how to be the most successful guy because I'm not. Okay? You want to keep taking advice from a millionaire? Go ahead, do it. That's great. I'd love to learn how to play piano from Sebastian Bach too. Right? But my cousin, who plays guitar pretty decently, I feel like he's going to connect better with me to teach me. I'm comfortable with him. He's not that amazing. He's not going to get pissed at me. And so I feel like right now, everybody's blown the fuck up and they're telling everybody how to do the job, how to get it done. And it's like this. Jonathan's never been a customer of Bravo Farms. So it's really hard to talk about how Bravo Farms customers should be treated. I mean, he can be right about some shit. He can know how they're supposed to be treated, but he won't know as well as you and I, because we were there. We had that first, like, hey, you know what really sucked is when I had it, right? And I've been there. I've been a customer. You know what I mean? I've made $800 a month. I've asked to go home early. I've faked sick to go home early. I've done that within the last decade. My story isn't, since I was 12, I was selling baseball cards and I was so amazing, and I've always been. No, I sucked. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I sucked. That's what we're going to talk about. What's up, guys? My name's Ray Bot. And this is the show. Video should be up. I was gonna look at you and ask you, but I'm the one that has to upload it. So video should be up within 48 hours. I thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much. Keep putting in the work. It's real. Like, don't stop.